Salute everyone. Welcome to the Return of the Knicks podcast on the BX Sports Jedi Network. I am BX Sports Jedi Kev. Salute to everyone. Happy New Year's Eve. This for the podcast. This is recorded a little earlier. Will be played later on in its entirety on the YouTube channel. But salute to everyone to listen to us in the podcast universe, anywhere from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, anywhere you get your podcasts, and also in Roomba, Twitch. Salute to everyone watching us in Twitch, Anchor FM, anywhere that you get your podcast or any of your audio. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, as well as anywhere any social media platform at BX Sports Jedi Network. So salute to everyone. I'm hoping you all having a wonderful holiday week. Those that are off from work, those that have the day off today, and those that are working, that are listening to us, we appreciate you doing your hard work, making your money, working on this New Year's Eve day, and hope you guys get home safe and sound to your families, and we appreciate it. So let's get right to it. The New York Knicks have a game this evening with the Oklahoma Thunder, but before that, they coming off a 3-game winning streak against the Detroit Pistons in 94-85, a game that us as Knicks fans were a little spoiled. We win 3 games in a row, and if you look at the NBA Knick Twitter, content creators were a little bit disappointed or complaining on the 3-game winning streak. Have we Knicks fans gotten spoiled from and forget short-term memory of our misery for the last 20 years? And now on a 3-game winning streak, we get to have a little bit of, it wasn't pretty. Yes, I'm going to be totally transparent. The winning streak was not a pretty winning streak, but a win is a win is a win, and a lot to be talked about. It all came down, the news after that Julius Randle will not be with the Knicks right now. He unfortunately came down in safety protocols and has COVID. Will be out. Get better, Julius Randle. It's going to be an interesting dynamic. Like I spoke to Chef Dan, part of the network. If those that know us, Return of the Knicks podcast, and knows myself, Chef Dan, and Z from A to Z Media, and also the Notorious G Money from the Notorious G Money, aka Gideon. We all spoke. We speak, outside show prepping or ideas, and because those that don't know us, I am a network of many different programs that we cover: MMA, combat sport, Yankees, baseball, Major League Baseball, wrestling, as well as and our brother network A to Z Media that covers the NFL, football, college football, Michigan football, and so forth. And pretty soon UCF, University of Central Florida, all University of Central Florida for 2022, new project coming up. We'll be talking about the college good win by University of Central Florida beating Michigan basketball team last night in Orlando, Florida. And today, later on this evening, will be for college football playoff. Michigan taking on Georgia in Miami in the Orange Bowl, Capital One Orange Bowl. And I know Stu tuned into A to Z Media. He's going to break down everything after post game. I don't know if he's going to do a pregame. I haven't spoken this morning with him, but I'm pretty sure he is stoked. I know he's nervous, and I know win or lose, he'll be on talking about the Michigan Wolverine. And we had James Yoder yesterday on both of our channels simultaneous. So I want to salute. Thank you for James Yoder coming on from the Michigan Report from Chat Sports. Gave us a wonderful interview, a great interview, close to almost an hour of his time. We appreciate it, and we want to thank you, James Yoder. For those who haven't, check it out at the A to Z Media. Let's get his viewership up. Let's help him get his channel up and running. That's why we're here, to help one another and help each other grow. There's plenty of grow content. So A to Z Media, you could check it out. A to Z Media Network here on. If you're watching me on YouTube, check it out. It's in the community section and all the featured channels on the BX Sports Jedi Network. Those are listening to us on the audio platform. It's in the audio archives. It's gonna say Michigan with James Yoder. Check it out. So I appreciate it. Give that a like. Listen to it. For all those Michigan Wolverine fans out there, or Georgia, because it wasn't a bias or a bashing of the Georgia Bulldogs neither. So we were talking about breaking down the game and a little bit of recruiting class. But back to the NBA, I just wanted to take a side note and talk about us a little bit about the channel to close out this year 2021. It was a wonderful year. I want to thank you guys. And also we closed out our final MMA program with Chef Dan and Austin last night. They did the year in review as well. Also, that is in here on the audio platform, the same place you're listening to us right now in audio. You could see and view that program as well in Twitch. Also, it's on Rumba and YouTube. The videos are there posted. I'm gonna have a rerun video of the interview for New Year's Day, the year in review, and also short of the interview with Bruce Buffer and Aaron Blanchfield. They got a question and answer interview with them, and they were gracious enough to give us a brief question and answer to the network. And would like you guys to participate, listen to it, give us your feedback, and help us continue to grow. So the Knicks found out the news yesterday. No Julius Randle. And prior to that, let's set up the scenario. That game against Detroit Pistons, the starting unit, there was something off, and maybe Julius Randle wasn't feeling well. He didn't play particularly well against Minnesota. Remember, the Knicks were on a back-to-back game Tuesday, Wednesday night before the news came down that Julius Randle enters the safety and protocol. And wasn't playing well, looked slow on the floor, terrible on defense, not playing defensive assignments. Although Randle last game against the Pistons had 10 rebounds, in 26 minutes of action, 5 points, 5 assists, but he wasn't setting the right picks. I think Wally Zerbiak on the MSG broadcast really hammered him of his effort on picking and rolling for his teammates. Wasn't crisp. It was a little bit very alarming. And we also the emergence of the starting unit being benched from the whole fourth quarter. The second unit, aka the Rat Pack. So salute to everyone listening in the chat. I want to thank you guys. This is pre-recorded. For those that are going to watch it later on in the afternoon, leading up to the Knicks watch along against the Oakland City Thunder. We're going to play the Thunder live watch along, play by play, which I do in my network, and we'll be going live at 8 o'clock. So prior to that, leading up to it, this pregame will be shown and aired at that time in the YouTube channel. So I want to say hello to everyone in the chat, the usuals, our mod police, and everyone in the chat that makes the chat going. My program, for those that don't know, the watch alongs, it's a audience participation program that everyone participates and partakes. I read your chats, I read your questions. You don't have to pay me for a super chat to be read. I read everything there. Although donations, I want to say thank you for all those that are donating to the Cash App, to the PayPal, or even in the super chats as well. And I don't, you're more than free to bless the program with your financial gifts. I always take it and I'll invest it in getting ourselves better equipment, so far. We appreciate everything. Also the t-shirt store, appreciate everyone buying merchandise for the MMA program and all that stuff. And thank you for your generous contributions to the program. So I appreciate it. And I want to thank everyone though. So I do encourage the audience to participate, and we try to read every chat as long as it's with no profanity, of course, and to the point. We'll read it, we'll discuss it, and the chat has a lot of interactions from around the world. First of all, I want to say Happy New Year to Australia, to our friend CT from the Streets of Buzzing, our other friends that listened from Australia as well. Happy New Year. You already rang the new year already, and it's already in, as well as for the Philippines. Happy New Year, Jerome, everyone in the Philippines, that it's a big part of our program, that they participate, they support BX Sports Jedi YouTube channel and Facebook page everywhere. Any program I do, I could count on that wonderful country of the Philippines to always boost my ratings and support and partake and be part of it. So thank you for the Philippines and Australia that are ringing the New Year's. Happy New Year to you guys, to CT, to Jerome Peralta, to Eddie in Taiwan, and that are ringing in the New Year's. Happy New Year, guys. Thank you for being part of the Jedi Network in 2021, and thank you for. I know you guys are going to be there, and to many blessings and many new comings in 2022, and we're going to continue to grow this network, this platform, continue to provide you an entertainment in your countries, and we appreciate it. And thank you for knowing you, ZT, for spending time on a platform, conversating, getting to know each other, sharing our love that we have for the New York Knicks. I want to thank you, CT. I know your New Year started early. I'll thank everyone in the right time once we wrap up the program a little later. And so, since you guys started ahead of us, you celebrate, pop the champagne. Many blessings to you, and may you continue to have prosperity. So back to the game in Detroit. The New York Knicks was bailed out by the bench. Phenomenal job from the bench playing. What can you say about the unsung, consistent, unappreciative, best quiet player of the New York Knicks, the Swiss Army knife, Alec Burks. Alec Burks, phenomenal game for Burks. You know, he played 27 minutes, 34 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, was just key. And I'll get Burks. I think he's going to continue to cook. I think he's going to emerge, step up. I'm not going to say he's the best player. I think he's going to be a third option. When I say third, not a second, because he sometimes getting a little inconsistent. So I'm going to say a third option. The reason why is we're playing teams now. We're going to play the next 10 games against teams under 500, or 10 of the next 11, something like that, on teams under 500. And a lot of those teams tend to want to play zone on the New York Knicks. You saw the template was done by Minnesota playing zone. Gave a lot of Knicks squeaked out. These are white knuckles, not pretty victories, but it's a victory. And that's the narrative they're going to have. They want to trap Kemba Walker up high, and trap him and try to get the ball out of his hand, not him create and allow him to find. The Knicks have to find the open shooters. You saw also Quentin Grimes was a little bit rushing of his shots because he was too open, and he just, I don't know if he got excited and wanted to rush the shot because he knew defenders were charging, running, and he had plenty of time. Maybe just he'll go in. So my point is, a lot of these teams are going to start playing the zone on the New York Knicks, and they have to. First of all, they're going to need Kemba Walker, McBride to break down these zone plays, and players like Burks, Quentin Grimes, spot up good shooters. Even Evan Fournier, although Evan Fournier, we found out, ended up with a sore ankle, did not play the back-to-back in Detroit, and might not play again tonight against OKC. It's way too early for me to get a scouting report because, like, once again, this is recorded previous early, so I just wanted to make sure to let you know. So I'm going to put that there. This was recorded previous early because it was intended for the podcast. I made the video, and we're here on YouTube. So salute to everyone, and salute to everyone in the chat. You know, I will be in the chat live when this video uploads to right, and salute you guys. But I'm here. I appreciate you guys listening, and remember, follow us, watch us in the watch along at 8:00. Knicks going to be live. We're going to be live. We're going to be in all play-by-play watch alongs. You know how we break it down. So I want you to be a participant in the chat, not a spectator. So no Evan Fournier, so we shall see. And with the zone, spot up shooters are going to be very important to hit. Also, what's helping also is the emergence of Mitchell Robinson being a defensive a rebound machine and an offensive rebound machine. Phenomenal job by him. You know, he had 7 rebounds in Minnesota. He had 14 rebounds against 16 rebounds, against the Timberwolves the night before on a back-to-back. You know, so it looked really well. Also, the starters played atrocious. Yes, indeed. And the bench saved them. But the one only starter I thought was a little positive, although everyone was a negative on the floor for the Knicks. It was RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett, he kept going to the basket and scoring at will. And that's one thing the Knicks stopped doing in the second, and especially in that third quarter of doom, they started just relying on wanting to be a jump shooting team and go back. They had their will when they wanted to go scoring in the paint against Detroit Pistons. And I love when RJ continues to attack. RJ's game, he is not and RJ's game, the way his predecessor, they want to make him a fourth option, spot up shooter, where RJ's learned how to have the ball in his hands at time and featured on offense and going to the basket and having the ball in his hands, making decisions, not waiting and either the right side, left side corner and spot up shooter. He's not really a good spot up shooter. He's more of a slasher type with the ball and set some plays. Would love to see that. Now, it's an interesting dynamic. No Julius Randle for the New York Knicks. And I know there was a lot of controversies with other content creators getting upset with Knicks Twitter, saying that, oh, it was Knicks fans were happy to see Julius Randle come down with this not playing. I'm not. And I'm not going to attack the fan base neither. All we got to say is it's going to be an interesting dynamic. Let's say an interesting dynamic. No Julius Randle. Let him recuperate, because we don't know how extend. He was playing like he was sick, like he had the flu. And I work in constructions, and I'm not saying this NBA basketball has nothing, or professional athlete has nothing to do with construction worker, but we're working on our hands, all the elements, up and down ladders, moving. And when you have a little bit of a flu and you're tired, you feel aches and pain, and you just don't move at the same speed, and you're feeling it sluggish. And imagine a high class athlete who's at the top of his conditioning night in, night out against the best of the world, not feeling. And I'm not saying he has a flu. He has a COVID. COVID is a a type of an influenza that we don't know about. So I'm not going to get down in that science, but not feeling well, and moving sluggish. And it's not an apologistic movement for Julius Randle, because we've seen a trend now for quite a few games, close to 30 claims of this. Little sometimes I like this, but if you have the flu, man, it's hard to compete. Not feeling well. And I'll give him a pass for the Detroit game, but the rest of the season. But now we're going to see an interesting dynamic. Julius, get back better. I said it once, I said it twice. This team is not going to make the playoffs or go far, win a round in the playoffs without the contribution of Julius Randle. But we would like to take advantage of this interesting dynamic to see now, Obi Toppin, let's see what you bring. Let's see what you have. Let's go in fourth. I think Obi should play 25 to 27 minutes. I'm not asking him to play Julius Randle's 38 plus minutes. I want to see him around that time. Now it's going to be interesting dynamic on who fills that other void at the power forward position with no Julius Randle. Kevin Knox, here's an opportunity for Kevin Knox to resurgence himself, get back and show, not just to Knicks if they're not going to use him, but to show they has value around the league, to maybe potentially trade him off and bring in some draft pick for him, or a player that we might need. If Julius Randle, I think he'll be the normal. I think now they changed it to 6 days instead of 10, whatever time he'll be back. But you could showcase now, Kevin Knox, and we're crossing fingers that Kevin Knox continues to shoot well and play well the way he was prior to getting the COVID, and helps his trade value or his value period, or be an implemented part of the team. I would love him to be, give Thibodeau another weapon and cause Thibodeau a good headache of players to play, because as we saw with that, Deuce McBride played very well. He didn't score no points, but he had assists, rebounds, getting in the passing lane, steals, catalyst on breaking down the defense, getting and penetrating with his and keeping the ball handle. Those are the things that we're missing from a point guard. Point guard doesn't always have to be Damian Lillard and scoring all the time. There's other aspects of a point guard: running the show, running the offense, setting on when in place, slowing things down, breaking momentum, seeing something on the floor general. That's why they're called the floor general. And right now, McBride helped out Kemba Walker on a back-to-back also. So keep that in mind. He was playing a back-to-back, although Walker's minutes were just 20 minutes, but 20 minutes, 2 points, 2 assists, 2. The whole starting unit was a negative on the floor. They were not up to par. And in the second unit, just phenomenal job. It was quickly. What an impactful second half. Emmanuel Quickly, 18 points, two assists, one rebound, 35 minutes of action. And and I mentioned about Burks with his 34 points. McBride had four rebounds and three assists in 25 minutes of action. You also had Toppin. He had 18 minutes. Oh no, Obi Toppin. Oh, there it is. 22 minutes, 9 points, four rebounds, one assist for Obi Toppin. Let's see him go. I could see him getting to 27 minutes first, because he's also coming back from the COVID restriction. That's why, protocols. That's why Tom Thibodeau didn't play him a lot of minutes, trying to get his stamina up, and smart, because he's not going to overwaste. It's a smart move. We got to trust coach. We'll trust the coach. He's the head coach. And of course, Todd Gibson. What can you say, Todd Gibson? 28 minutes, 8 rebounds, two assists, only 4 points. But the things he brings on the floor as well, with his veteran leadership. I know sometimes he's going to get overwhelmed by other centers, taller, and might have lost a half a step from last year, but he's still savvy enough, a constant professional on the floor with those young kids, anchor that veteran with Burks. You got veteran Burks and Gibson out there, to anchor with that wisdom and knowing and play just enough to complement that super athleticism, speed, and quickness that these young kids, between Quickly, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, even RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson. We'd love to see them play, and we're unfortunately situation. We're going to have to see that now with no Julius Randle. And also, it's I'm not saying it's an unfortunate situation that might benefit just a little bit of the Knicks and everyone, because I want Julius to rest his body, just relax his body, rest, disconnect from the basketball arena, from the world of the basketball arena, get himself better, make himself right. He has a newborn child at home as well, with his young son and his wife. Will want him to get better from this COVID, get better, get healthy, get strong. And basketball Kuwait right now is your health, Randall. And we want you to take away, disconnect, rejuvenate, reconnect to family. What makes that, or getting better and having that happiness. And once he returns, then basketball is second. He'll come back. And I think this is going to be everything's happen for a good reason. I'm always a mantra. I believe in that in my life. When something, it might it happens for a good reason. I might not understand it right now, why it was good, but maybe down the road I'll see. And I think, and I'm not saying COVID was a good thing. I'm not saying no. I'm saying getting away from the basketball, reconnect with his family, and get better and feel good, and just forget about the minutia of the basketball drama, and disconnect from Twitter, disconnect from Stephen A. Smith, from us here in the platforms and all the content creators, and just worry about getting yourself healthy, getting better, and come back bigger and better and stronger, big guy, because we know that you have that talent. We know that we've seen it last year. We've seen talent, and we've seen it in Kentucky. We've seen it in throughout his NBA career. We know we see the good, the bad with Julius Randle. We know that he is trending for good, more good than, because those are rookie and inexperienced mistakes. So with that said, I think he'll come back bigger, stronger, wiser, and more refreshed, rejuvenated. He needed maybe that pause, and hopefully get better, Julius. And now we're going to see, Obi Toppin, and it's going to be a great opportunity for that young man. He worked his rear end off since last year, in the off season, with Team USA, with Emmanuel Quickly in summer league, and he's trending up. It's a win-win situation for everyone. Toppin gets more minutes on the floor. He will establish himself on the floor. But here's the thing. You're providing the league more scouting footage, more scouting reports on you, Obi. So now you're going to have to raise your level of play to another level. Now we're going to find out if Obi Toppin has what it takes to raise his game to another level, because once this stretch of games are played, teams around the league are going to have a scouting report on you, and they're going to know where to play, what the tendencies, what you like. And this is a league that they have some great video coordinators to get it to assistant coaches, which get it back to these players in the age of technology and these NBA players now all around the league, even the Detroit Pistons, even the worst teams in the league, they are very talented, smart, putting their players in right positions. It's up to the players to execute the plays, but the coaching technology places everyone in great positions. So it's going to be interesting to see top in quickly the Rat Pack and the opportunities to go, those that get elevated to the starting unit and get more playing time. They're going to be scouting reports going down the road. So it's good. I'm hoping right now that the Knicks could take advantage of their soft schedule. They're playing the under 500 team right now, and we'll see if they could take advantage on beating those teams under 500. And like I always say, my mantra on the Return of the Knicks podcast watch along is one possession, one quarter, one half, one game at a time. You win those small battles. You win your that possession. You're going to score, or you're going to have your defensive stop, or limit them to one possession. Then you win that first quarter. You win that half. Then you win the game, and then you next rinse and repeat. Then when you look, you're just like, oh wow, look at the Knicks. They're just what, 2 games under 500 right now, and they get it and they're climbing. Next thing you know, you're 1 game, you're 500. Next thing you know, you're 1 game over. Then you continue building blocks, positive building blocks, steps, because it seems that this team cannot handle prosperity and overlook and any one of these opponents, because unfortunately this team plays down to their level of competition. You see that when they play Brooklyn, they play very well. Everybody rose their level of competition. And although we came up short, we beat the 76ers. The proof is that I don't know what it is. This team rises to the level of competition, or they play to the level of their competition, and a little bit of inconsistent. We'll see. It frustrates us as Knicks fans, because we know that there's potential there for this team to really be a really good team, and there's also warning signs that this team could be a lottery team. So they're like that, and maybe that is who they are, a middle of the pack team. Where depending what nights or matchups, they could be an extreme dangerous team, and depending on the matchup, they could be overwhelmed. It all depends on players, but hopefully we get some players starting to return as well. We saw now McBride. We still have Nolan's Noel out. We don't know when he will return neither. He's still out. He anchors that center position. I think Jericho Simpson's health and safety protocol as well. And we would like to see from our G League, because it'll be interesting to see if Luka Samanik, he has healed from his ankle injury. That's another aspect that the Knicks could use. Sprinkle 15 minutes with Obi Toppin's minutes, where and give Julius, and just that dynamic, because Luka was dominating the G League. He was, I think, second in leading scorer in the G League, or I think he still is. To be honest with you, I thought I saw something posted. 6'10", power forward, stretch the floor. Not really known for his defensive prowess, but he can hit he has length, he has strength, stretches the floor, especially when teams, if they're going to play the zone on the New York Knicks, you want a guy who's 6'10", who could stretch the floor. Not only that, can help out on the boards and so forth. But maybe, I know we might lose a little on the defense, but if we put them there with the second unit, maybe with the athleticism, with their speed, be able to help out on there with a Gibson, so forth. We shall see if Thibodeau is willing to play him, or if he's available for the next few games, when, especially, this is a third game of a 4-game road trip tonight in OKC. OKC, they coming off their loss against the Phoenix Suns themselves. It wasn't a pretty game. They're looking to want to also end their season on a good note, but OKC hosting the New York Knicks tonight. So salute to everyone again in the chat. Just want to make sure that I let you guys know that this was recorded previously earlier for the audio podcast. So just wanted to let you know that we'll be coming on right after this with the live watch along, play-by-play action, Knicks and Oklahoma City Thunder. And right now, the Oklahoma OKC Thunder are 17th in point allowed in the NBA. They're 30th in rebounds allowed. So you could rebound. You could really box out these teams. It'll be interesting. The Knicks control the board against them. They're They're on the bottom 30. They shoot 30% from 3-point land. They're 29th in field goal. They're 12th in turnovers. They're 30th in assists. I found the team actually worse than the Knicks in assists. And that's a team that has Josh Giddey and SGA. I think, although SGA, I think, didn't play against the Phoenix Suns. I don't know if he's in safety protocols. I'll find that out. Like I said, no scouting report. I haven't seen any to find out, but he did not play against the Phoenix Suns. No SGA. He could be a real handful against the Knicks. It'll be interesting. Personally, Chef Dan, myself, we would love him for the Knicks to pry him away, but we'll talk another time about that. And the Knicks are 8 in points allowed in the NBA on defensive metrics. They also 24th on offense. They're 29th in assists. So Oklahoma City Thunder and the New York Knicks 30 and 29 in assists per team. The Knicks, one number that I looked so far, the Knicks are 8th in turnovers. They're not bad for a team that doesn't really have a featured point guard. And the way Randall was turning the ball over and dribbling, and they're only 8th in turnovers. I thought they would be more like 18th, but when I saw 8th, I double checked it. I refreshed it, and 8th in turnovers. Okay, I'm okay. I'm all right with that. There's room for improvement. Yes, and they're 13th in free throw percentage shooting. Although that game that they had, they were terrible at the free throw line, that other night, and didn't help their percentage. And here's a number that kind of got me. Okay, they're 8th in 3-point percentage, 3 points made, and I'm like, oh wow, not bad compared to where we were. Last year I think we ended up 4th but it took a while for us to get there. And they're 10th in 3-point percentage attempts. So they're the 10th team that attempts the most threes, and they're 8th for the most they're hit. So a number that caught me by surprise there is okay. I see sometimes they struggle, but hey, you live and die on the three. They're trying to keep up with the modern NBA for the Knicks and playing that way. And if their teams are going to keep playing the zone, look for that number to look for them to start climbing to be more efficient. I think there are going to be a lot of opportunities for open threes, and especially in the zone attack. It's just them. They have to learn how to pass the ball correctly, find the open man, which they have done. Although the assist numbers doesn't say that, they're 29th in the NBA, but now teams are starting to play the zone on them. And when you start seeing that, it's usually teams that are under 500 that they're not that good defensively, so they try to do a zone scheme and it showed a little bit that it gave the Knicks fits, especially when you double high post. You want to double high post on Kemba Walker, get the ball out of your point guard, the best ball handler, and have them swing the ball around. And we should see now they have to protect the ball. And one thing a lot of teams were doing, they were sending their guard. If you had a 6'4", 6'5", or taller point guard, you will send them at Julius to try to pry away the ball. Randall likes to, dribble and play a little ISO, and you saw the blueprint from the Bulls. The Chicago Bulls put Lonzo Ball on Julius Randle, and that was their game plan to attack and go forward and attack them there. So interesting to see OKC to finish the year out. Despite no matter what happens, 2021 for the New York Knickerbockers franchise, it was a really good year. You could actually open up a bottle of champagne to celebrate 2021 for the Knicks because it was a good year. Just think about it. The January came along, they were under 500, and boom, they bought into Tom Thibodeau's system. They played extremely well for him. Then the Derrick Rose trade came, and they just took it off to another level and gave us an exciting 2021 year last year, playing, good basketball, competing. They fell short against the 76ers. They fell short against the Brooklyn Nets, but they were all either 1 or 2 possession games, fighting. I know New York City Gritty Committee was given to them, adopted by Knicks Real Talk Divine. He gave them that name, the New York City Gritty Committee, and they were gritty, they were strong, and they gave us a really good feel good story. You think, wow, they turning things around. There's something here being built. The emergence of Julius Randle, most improved player of the year. You saw RJ Barrett taking the next step, shooting threes, getting better. And you've seen the team that everyone had for 21 wins and was going to be a laughing stock. They're going to blow it up because they're going to have all this money to sign, the next franchise player in the offseason and so forth. And they changed their narrative. They you could say shocked the world. They shocked the world. They re-engaged us as a fan base, although the fan base never went anywhere. The fan base always been passionate for the love for the New York Knicks, but those that were a little away and got us excited again to love basketball in New York. And that was a wonderful thing of 2021, not only getting in love with the New York Knicks, but also falling in love with being here and entertaining and speaking to you in podcast form or in YouTube. And I'm speaking for myself in a way as well. And want to thank Knicks Real Talk Divine for allowing me to come on and speak about and sharing his platform to where I'm at now to talk about Knicks basketball or sports in general. And I want to appreciate him. I want to wish him a happy new year and many, 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 many prosperity in his channel and his endeavors and all he does. And thank you for allowing me to come on, a kid from the Bronx who lives in Orlando, to come on and talk about a team that I grew up watching and loving since 1983, Bernard King, and watching all the timeline of the New York Knicks and going through the good, the bad, and the ugly, and hopefully now for the good part. And I want to thank you for allowing me to come on, and thank you for being part as a co-host for a time on your program, on your platform. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I want to appreciate learning and meeting not just him, like I said, mentioned earlier, to everyone, CT out there from the streets of Buzzing, that learning him on the panel, especially, and also G-Man, aka Sergeant, meeting him on the panel, Spree, the American Dream, aka Ron, and sparing a platform with Gideon. Those are the first four, the pro that we used to night in, night out speak all the time about the Knicks, enjoying when we clinch the playoff berth, how we celebrated on that channel. Those are going a year in review. I want to thank also getting to meet for the love of the game, everyone on the channel, from Hector, Hector, Project Nerd. I appreciate you. Able to share a platform with you. Also coming on our channel and try to start a bilingual program. Thank you for that. The 2021. Thank you for my journey here, and also meeting Zach for also from that channel, from Love of the Game. Appreciate him, part of our network, and now starting his own football channel and his own station. We appreciate you there, especially Chef Lawrence, Worldwide L, meeting you there and getting to meet you and working with you on the channel as well, meeting all those good folks on there, Uncle Fulio, the names that you saw that I started watching MBK, and that's why I saw Divine, and I decided to join it, and here I am, doing it just because I like it, and I appreciate you guys, meeting you, Stephanie on Queen's Court. We're always classy, always gracious, always wonderful to speak with you on a panel. I always enjoy having a conversation about Knicks basketball. It is a really not a lot of nice people, a lot of good folks. It is a family kind of atmosphere. You have, like every family, disagreements, agreements. Always, but they're there. They're always there. They all want the best at the end of the day. So I appreciate everyone from all the content creators that I've shared a platform with, and spend time on this microphone speaking with, entertaining not just myself but everyone about it, and speaking about the New York Knicks. We love the Knicks, and we appreciate the 2021 in a nutshell. And of course, one guy that I forget to mention, that no need to mention, that I met on these platforms and now part of the Sports Jedi network, and is our own resident chef, Chef Dan. Chef Dan, phenomenal, meeting him on Knicks Real Talk, speaking, knowing his love, a passion for the Knicks, but even more of a love that he has for MMA fighting. And wow, I think his love for and passion for the MMA fighting world more trumps more than actually the basketball. But don't let me tell you that. That's just my opinion. But Chef Dan, thank you for also coming with me here, starting this channel and building something here for not just for ourselves, for us, all of us. It is a team network. It is a Jedi. It's a network of friends coming together and speaking about the love that we have for not just Knicks basketball, the Yankee watch along, the baseball, the MMA, combat sports, fighting, every sport, Rangers, hockey, football, all sports all the time. That's our mantra. And we want to thank everyone in this 2021 year for it. And I want to appreciate everyone. Like I said, I want to appreciate everyone on the Yankee watch along that helped me just explode my channel in subscribers, for the team that I grew up, my first passion, New York Yankees, being born and raised like literally 2 blocks away from the Yankees. Actually born by or near Yankee Stadium, raised in Throsneck. Yankee baseball, going to Yankee Stadium, doing the watch alongs, meeting Maria, meeting Jerome, meeting Alvin, meeting Brendan, everyone, Michael Caputo, everyone in the chat. I have a memory. I could be here. I could do a whole hour just thanking so many people in our chat. Our main man, Robert Parr, Kelvin T. Jones, the mod police, our sheriff in the channel, our resident GM, Knicks 100 AGM, everyone, for you guys. Totally appreciate to meet you guys in 2021. The 2021 year was phenomenal. Unfortunately, the Knicks fell short in the playoffs to Trae Young and the Hawks, but it was a wonderful celebration of the Knicks. Also, it gave us content for a year of sustain us. We talked about the offseason, the trading line. I remember I did the draft show. Who I thought would be draft. I didn't almost hit it, nowhere near it, just the first few picks. But other than that, it was, I thought I had the Knicks taking Sharif Cooper, who's not even in the league. Look at me. That's why if you listen to the fans, you sit with the fans. It's because the Knicks, McBride, we could rehash that. Also the summer league, the watch-alongs, basketball watch-alongs, the collaboration in different YouTube channels, doing it, phenomenal job. All in all, 2021, we're gonna close it with what they call a golden brush. Spanish, una brocha de oro. And I want to say something real quick. Quiero dar gracias a todo el mundo que lo escucha y lo sintoniza viendo el programa en YouTube, en WhatsApp, en todas las partes donde ustedes escuchan el plataforma, y te doy gracias por apoyar a mí y todo lo que me apoyaron y me siguen apoyando, y te quiero dar las gracias porque con ustedes fueron que me ayudaron a recibir el éxito. Y te quiero dar las gracias. So I want to thank everyone for that opportunity as well, in Spanish as well. So thank you guys for it. Thank you guys for allowing the Jedi Network to be worldwide. Thank you. I had my folks from Scotland, folks from Taiwan, from, like I said, Philippines, Australia, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago. You have Marlon Johnson, Johnson from the Caribbean islands. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm from Puerto Rico. Alex Coquito, one of our also featured channels. Please keep it view Alex Coquito in his channels, featured one of his channels, a big contributor to the channel, always sharing my stuff either here on social media platforms. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate it for your friendship, your internet friendship, and for supporting my channels. And that's why I go out and support you. Our new friends, I'm talking with KGP. Thank you guys. I appreciate guys talking KGP. Check them out as well. Always support our channel. Check out, of course, where I originally came from. Give a like to Knicks Real Talk to Divine again. Thank you for allowing me to be on your platform, allowing to co-host and listening to my creative ideas and sharing creative ideas, and many success in your path and your endeavors, and it just keep growing, man. That's it. Keep doing your thing. And CT and everyone out there, all those that followed us and or those that I spoke with you in the chat, from Pudge Nice, from all the other folks from Knicks Real Talk, Will Sackins, Alton Lee, all you guys. I remember every one of you guys, and I remember and I appreciate it. Thank you so much to you guys, each and every one of you guys. And hey, let's hope 2022 next year when we're closing this out, we're talking about, you know, we're excited with the Knicks more continuous. I think they're still going to be really well. And now we're talking about, top of the Eastern Conference, going 1-2 battle. This team has a lot to grow. I like the direction they're going in and so forth. So let's go out there and beat OKC. Let's make it a 4-game winning streak. Let's, like I said, close the year out with a golden brush on a high note and start building something positive in 2022 as a Knick fan base, as a Knick community, as Knick content creators, and like and share. And I appreciate every one of you again. Like I always tell you, one thing that you cannot get back, and that I appreciate you give me, is your time. And I appreciate that you're giving me your time, and you're giving me your undivided time to watch the watch alongs and just have fun. That's all we have. And I appreciate you guys to keep participating in the chat, keep giving me your feedback and ask. And definitely would like to know if I can help to improve the program. Let me know. I'm always there to find us on all our social media platforms and Twitter, at BX Sports Jedi, and Instagram as well. Also the return, and also we have an Instagram account for the Knicks only. It's Return of the Knicks podcast on Instagram. Yeah, and I am there as well, and also BX Sports Jedi in Instagram as well. And Facebook, of course, Facebook page. Thank you for all the Facebook works, Lisandro Losado. I'm always watching along in Facebook. I appreciate you listening to me there. Maria the Boracha, thank you so much. You're always there in all the programs. You're one of the first ladies in the program, the first lady of the Jedi Network to watch along with us. Of course, Tracy Del Costa as well in the Yankees watch along. Thank you so much. So the names, so many names that I would love to thank each and every one individually. Mike Ortiz, and so many folks, that watches along. Giovanni Vega, and Alex, so many different people. Alex, my barber, always keeping me on point with my hairdo, with my always saying, yeah, you need to put gel. I didn't like the way right now. I guarantee when this stream is over, if he sees it, he's going to say, you need to go shave. So Alex, thank you so much. Alex, the barber. If you're in the Orlando area, got to check out Alex Barber on South Chickasaw and Curry Ford. Phenomenal barber. Excellent. With the latest styles, do the whole towel finish and everything. Phenomenal barber. So I want to thank everyone. First of all, I want to thank my wife for putting up and letting me do these streams and spending hours when supporting me on that. It always starts at home when your wife supports you and lets you and understands and got your back. When you got someone that got your back, that lets you do these streams and take away time sometimes. Sometimes I'm doing either video editing or something, and it's taken away from husband and wife time, our alone time, or just going out to the beach. We live in Central Florida. There's always, and she understands that we're trying to build something here and doing something that she's seen me for years do, and is passion in sports. So I want to thank my wife. I appreciate her help. And believe me, she helps me a lot with the program as well. It's like she's sitting right behind me, looking this way, watching, make sure no slings and arrows come my way. So I know I got someone I could trust so much in my wife. So thank you for her, and my family, my son, both of my sons. My other son that don't come on camera, but he's a MMA savant, knows about my older son, an excellent MMA savant that knows about the game, and also my younger son, Austin, that's part of the network, that I could have the luxury to do father and son MMA program with Chef Dan as well. It's a pleasure to talk a stream with them. So I want to thank them as well. I want to thank you guys again, the listeners, and let's go Knicks. Let's go. For me, it's let's go Knicks. Let's go Yankees. Let's go Jets, Giants. Let's go New York Rangers. Let's go UCF football, UCF baseball, UCF basketball. I have season tickets I used to have season tickets for the baseball, UCF. And let's go Michigan. Let's go Michigan tonight. Let's go Michigan football. Let's go win that playoff game, and let's go in there into that national title game and against either Alabama or Cincinnati. This recorded earlier, so let's go and beat Georgia, Michigan, and of course, let's go Knicks. And you know what? Let's go Mets as well. I'm not a Met fan, but I don't root ill will against the New York Mets. I'm on New York all the time. I love everything. If you see that NY, I'm a fan, big fan of it. And I want to say thank you again. And guys, have a happy new year. You know, from me to you, from the Jedi Network, I appreciate it. So again, thanks to everyone. You have a happy new year. And let's go. Stay tuned for the Knicks versus the Oklahoma City Thunder watch along, live watch along, and play by play. And from me to you, saying have a good night and get ready for the watch along. And we'll get ready to call for those that are coming on. And for the action, I'm ready to do the play by play. And hopefully, Chef Dan will join me. And here we go.